Well, don't go nowhere. This will be quick. I was telling Fred earlier this week, I was like, I believe I have a connection somehow or another to every single person being inducted this evening. And I said, I don't know if that's just coincidence or I'm getting old like him. I know I was telling Terrence, I was like, RD, I'm trying to put a face with RD, and I couldn't put a face. Some of them I'm Facebook friends with and can keep track of them behaving or not. From back in the day when I was here as a teacher in AP, and as soon as RD hit the door, and Terrence was like, and I was like, yes. And then Amber, I think Rachel played a little volleyball with you when she came through here. Brittany, Stephen, where are you, Stephen? I don't know if you remember all that time you had to spend at softball games when Brittany, it's like it's a family affair, the Lynches, everybody. And who doesn't know Tynes? Yeah, forever. And then Gorham, I was fortunate enough to be here and excited in that time frame where the Gorham hitting facility, that money was donated and built, because I think we were talking earlier, Ruby was saying, and I don't think Ruby at all to this day, we would have that if it wasn't for them. So definitely an exciting night, and to make the connections on top of a lot of other familiar faces that have coached while I've been here in one capacity or another, students that have been here at one capacity or another, and even have their own little ones, including mine made me a grandma. So thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for what you've done in the communities for Laney High School. It's definitely a tradition. You know, people talk about New Hanover has a tradition. Well, you know, people are embedded in the Laney traditions as well. So thank you again. We appreciate you and glad you can make it.
Okay, a lot of times we hear a lot of people talk about some of the things that they plan to do, and I plan to do this, and I want to do this, and I'm trying to get this done. And it's not often that we come upon someone who doesn't do a lot of talking, but did a lot of things for our community and for our school. Mr. Frank Gorham did a lot of things for us. He, oftentimes we don't know how much we do that influences a lot of people. And we had a lot of students that came through, not just our baseball players, but kids in general who benefited from the things that he did. His mentorship, we talk about money, but money was not all it was all about. It was about helping people and service to people, and for that we want to honor him, Mr. Frank Gorham. He still says he doesn't deserve it, but we go ahead and tell him.
Yes, sir. It's your night. It's 42 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about 42 minutes. First of all, I'm really honored to be here. It's Laney's been a lot to our family. I'm probably the only non-athlete that's ever been up here, but I guess my check clears, so that I probably got in because Walker was the athlete in the family. But I can't tell you what Laney did for Walker and for our family. And you guys just don't know how important you've been in our life. I wanted to recognize when we built that batting cage. It was kind of an interesting story. We went to Rick Holliday, Jimmy Burris and I, Jimmy Wave. Jimmy's my contractor, and he's the one that did all the work in the batting cage. I think there were 34 companies that contributed to the Laney batting cage. 34, and a lot of parents were digging ditches, planting grass, whatever. I think, Jimmy, those 34 companies contributed like $65,000. And one of my favorite stories is we went to Holiday and we said we would like collectively to build this facility. And he goes, well, I'll let you get together with the architectural group in New Hanover County. And Jimmy and I said, no, we will hand you the car keys, and we will build it. And Jimmy did it. Jimmy, you built that thing in about 6 weeks. I really appreciate what you did, and it was an honor to work with you. When I agreed to do this, I didn't feel like I deserved it, but I wanted to honor some of the people that were really important to us. Trent Mongero, Walker's baseball coach. Wave, Trent. They all know you, but wave. Ruby Sutton, you don't need to introduce. Ruby, I will never, ever, ever forget your loyalty and your friendship and what you've done for so many people. God bless you.
Thank you.
Alan Sewell, I remember Alan threatened to beat me up the first time I met him. And he's still doing it. Alan, you were a mentor and a good friend and a good advisor to Walker. We will always appreciate you. Ashad Yeoman. Ashad was, 1 year younger than Walker. I remember Walker was scared to death of you because you were an animal. But I always appreciated your passion and your spirit, and it's been an honor to know you, Ashad. Ron Bear Hill. Ron, you were the first person from Laney that I met. You remember you came to our house that first night and you took Walker, Trent, to an FCA meeting, and I'll never forget the friendship and support that you gave. But I'll also never forget the time that Walker took you fishing at night. And he told you he was a fisherman and the boat broke down and he didn't know how to fish, and you came back and were not very impressed with Walker fishing.
We did more paddling.
Not here tonight, but a fellow parent, Davey Waggett, I want to recognize. Davey was my teacher on how to be a good parent. Brooke, how many baseball games did we go to? I mean, please thank your dad. He was a great teacher to me. And I guess if I could summarize one thing that I learned from Laney, is never underestimate the impact you can have on people if you just care and try. And about 92% of the people out here cared and tried. And thank you all for what you've done, and God bless you.
Hey, Fred, you forgot his bag.
I'll grab it. Thank you, Mr. Gorham. I got a little bit ahead of myself, and I don't want to leave anyone out. Let me recognize all of our members of the Athletic Hall of Fame. If you guys would kind of stand and give a little wave. Proud to see that you guys came back this evening. Terrence Williams. Henry Dickinson. Ruby Sutton. Brian Britt in the back. Mama Williams. Marcus Dickinson over there to my right. Gail Groski. Kimberly Groski, you can remember their name. Brian Walker, all the way from Florida. Nice to have you. Shatara Jackson. Aaron Teague in the back there with the babies. Coach Sewell. And the people who built Laney High School, Eddie Parker and Willie Flowers. Next honoree, two-sport athlete, did a tremendous job here at Laney High School. Just a great soccer player. At that time, I don't think I ever watched a soccer match until I became the AD. but it's a little bit. It was really fun to watch him play. Had an outstanding career here at Laney High School. Played baseball, outstanding baseball player. Little story I used to tell people when at the time that he was playing, we had another athlete who everybody was talking about how good he was and that he's going to get drafted. And the whole time I'm watching, I think I saw every game. I'm like, he's not even the best player on this team, you know. He is. And so it's kind of great to see what he became. And how many pirate people do we have in here? And all these pirates who are especially proud of all the things that he done. Mr. Stephen Batts. All these pirates.
All right. How's everybody doing? Good. What a great night. Great to see some old friends, sharing some great memories. It's hard to follow up Frank. Frank's been a great mentor of mine. It's great to have him here tonight. Thank you to the committee, Coach Lynch. This is really an honor to be here. It's something that I did not think would happen. I didn't ever dream of it, but it is. It's really awesome. Thank you. First of all, I want to give all glory to God. Thank Him for being by my side through the good games, the bad games, the injuries. He never wavered. So all glory goes to Him. To my parents. Thank you for never missing a game, for all the time and energy you spent away from work, having the resources. Never until I became a parent of my two girls did I understand really what it meant. From the ball fields to in-state, out-of-state, you did everything you could to make me succeed, so thank you. To my siblings, my two sisters, and to my brother that he couldn't be here tonight, thank you for being my biggest fan. You're always there for the extra high five, the extra hug, and it meant a lot, so thank you. To my in-laws, I know it might be a little weird for a lot of you that I'm doing a high school speech about my in-laws, but I'll tell you about that in a little bit. They were a mentor to me, a godly mentor outside of home. They were fantastic people, and they allowed me to date their daughter. So thank you for that. Now to the hardest part, my wife. We started dating here in 2001, my sophomore year. She's never left my side, which I don't know why, but she did. She was my rock, and she still is. And the times I wanted to quit, the times I didn't want to go to the ball field, to the weight room, I just want to go to school or just want to do whatever I wanted to do, she said God had a plan, keep pushing through it. It's never easy. Thank you for the mom you are. And I can't wait for those girls to wear that blue and gold. And a little side note, my parents and all my siblings were Buccaneers, so I hope to have a third generation here soon. To my coaches and teachers, Coach Sewell, Coach Tynes, Coach O'Brien, Coach Lynch, Coach Sutton. You were never my coach, but I saw you in the hallways. You were that extra high five, that extra get them next time, that extra good game. And you don't understand the impact that it makes to a young kid that's 16. It's in your genes to say that, but it really means a lot. And it molded me who I am today. So thank you for what y'all do. Coach Livengood, Coach Miller, Coach Grant, Coach Samlin, Coach Barker, Coach Sloan. Playing two sports, I had a lot of coaches. And I remember every bit and pieces of every one of them. From post 10 to Coach Barker being his first day, I remember that first ground ball that he hit. Great mentor. I really appreciate for what you did. Coach Dave couldn't make it here tonight. He was my soccer coach. He was a volunteer. He never missed a game, never missed a practice. He molded me in who I was. He threw eggs at me. He did everything he could to make me a better player. And I really appreciate it. I wish he was here tonight, but he couldn't make it. Lastly, Coach Mongero, thank you. I really appreciate it. Smartest baseball guy I know. I've been around the game a long time. I've met some really good people. But what you do for the game, the time you spend away from your kids and your family, and your mission to get kids to the next level, it means a lot. That's a special dream that a lot of people get to do because of you. So I really thank you. Thank you for that. And in closing, I'm going to say one thing is that a coach will impact more people in 1 year than an average person will in their entire lifetime. So thank you for what you do.
Our next inductee, in the words of Ruby Sutton, Sister Mary. Came to us from St. Mary's. Walked in the door, and I don't know what her reaction was when she walked through the doors of Laney High School, because it was a different place. That she walked in, but everybody adopted her. She adopted Laney. Had a great time. I don't know how and why she still loved Miss Sutton, because the way she tortured her in the weight room, and all the stuff that she had to do. But I've been at Laney a long time, and between she and Erin Teague, best female athletes to come through Laney High School at this time. Come on up, Sister Mary. And we're still having Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Everyone else had prepared notes. I'm shooting from the hip, y'all. So I wanted to start off with a little story about how I found out I was actually going to be here tonight. I was on a trip to Denver, Colorado for work. So a couple time zones different already. It's 6:30 a.m. in my hotel room. My phone starts ringing. I'm already, kind of groggy. So you look over your phone with one eye. Ruby Sutton. Oh my God, I'm late for practice. All these years later. So after I stopped hyperventilating, I'm thinking, I'm gonna run bleachers, what's going on? I was like, calm down, that's not really what this is. And so I proceed to answer the phone, and the first thing I hear is, girl, have I got news for you? And the moment you hear Ruby Zell's voice, you are immediately transported back in time to Michael J. Jordan Gymnasium, and all of those memories just start flooding back. And at that point, I realized I enjoyed every single minute of high school athletics here. Even those bleachers, Miss Sutton. Even those bleachers. When I was here, I had the best support system a kid could ask for. Between my coaches, my teammates, the teachers, my friends, my family, who, like Stephen mentioned, came to every single game, regardless of whether or not they knew the rules, lacrosse. But like I said, I was going to keep it short and sweet, but I've enjoyed every single minute of being here. I've loved the memories that I've gathered. It's been a wild ride, the 4 years that I had, but those memories last a lifetime. And I always like to say, once a buck, always a buck. So thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Our next honoree, I don't know if I want to be nice to him or just talk about him, or tell stories about him, because that smile you see right there, guys, is a smile that we saw every single day. Every day. It didn't matter what was going on. It was on the football field. If he missed a tackle, it was the same. It's the same expression. If he missed a layup, same expression. Used to drive Coach D crazy. He got dunked on. High five the guy who did it. One of our greatest memories, and we talk about this all the time. This is when Artie was a freshman. We're down at West Brunswick, playing the game. Artie gets his 5th foul. Okay, so the official who called a foul on him, it's probably Artie's height. So if you watch a game, it's timeout. Official standing here was on, for timeout. Artie comes by and high fives him. And so the official starts reaching for his whistle to give him a tech, and I'm screaming, no. He didn't mean anything about that. It's just his nature. He fouls out the ball game, gives the official a high five, and comes on to the bench. But as I said, one of the best people in the world that you ever want to meet. One of the best people you ever want to meet. Never met a stranger. Coach Bowles and I talk about games. In those days, everything is different now. When we played each other, that's my sister, and we play against each other, and we try to beat each other's brains in, but we're still friends. RD, we beat up on the Hogs. He'd go to their party, just invite himself to the Christmas party. Because all of them had a great, they all grew up together. They played on the same travel teams, so they were all friends. But it was, it's kind of nice. RD did a lot of good things for us. 2 sports, worked his tail off, made himself into a great athlete, became demon deacon or something like that. But our next inductee, R.D. Montgomery.
Grab that microphone.
For the record, I was invited to the... Don't invite me if you don't expect me to show up. So first and foremost, I'd like to thank the selection committee for 2 reasons besides the obvious. You've now made me the 2nd Hall of Famer in my household, and I appreciate you because my wife is starting to get a big head. And also, and this is just a very personal honor for me to be inducted in the Hall of Fame with Coach Tynes. I never had her as a coach. I never took her class, but I saw her every day. She always smiled. She always had a nice thing to say. And being inducted with her is an honor all by itself. So thank you for that. So I just have a long list of thank yous, along with the ones that I've already given. I would like to thank my teammates. I never thought I'd be up here, and I never did what I did because I thought it would end me up here. I did it because I loved playing sports, and I loved my teammates. And my biggest fear wasn't being put on the line by Coach Lynch or having to go to our corners with Coach Walters. It was having to look at my teammates' face if I didn't do my job. And that accountability is why I tried to play as hard as I could, because I knew they would do the same for me. My parents, thank you. You guys instilled in me to always work hard, to finish what I've started, and always be accountable. Mom, being the Eagles fan that you are, you were the first person ever to tell me I was playing soft on the football field. I was 12. Dad, you believed in me in any and everything that I ever did, almost to the point where judgment was questionable. I am reminded of a time, senior year at Jacksonville. We were winning, not by a ton, but we were winning. I caught the ball at the top of the key, and a lone voice screams out, "Shoot it!" And I never saw Coach Lynch and Coach D turn in unison, "No!" And I did not shoot it. Justine, Mika, Sean's not here, but thank you for being my biggest fans as well. I'm stealing that from Steven, but it applies. Thank you for putting up for my big-headedness, for physically and ego-wise, and just being outstanding siblings and always supporting me. Paul, thank you. You are my older brother. I owe my athletic career at Laney High School to you in large part because one day, freshman year before school started, you pulled up in my house, told me to get in the car, and you took me to New Hanover Medical Center because we had free physicals because I was such a bird brain, I was unaware. You got me there, and you got the ball rolling to make sure that happened, and while standing in line, Coach Walters walked past me. He saw a 6'5", 175-pound freshman. He asked me, "What am I doing?" I said, "I'm standing here." He said, "Come out for football." And the rest is history. So thank you, sir. To my coaches, Coach Lynch, you gave me some of the best advice I'd ever received. I don't think you know you did it. And I still use it to this day. You worked me out the first time as a freshman, and he stopped, and he looked at me, he said, "Just shoot it 10 feet. Everything else will work out." Today. Coach D, you funded about 45% of the food I ate. I apologize for spending so much time in the refrigerator. You told me if I listen to you, you can make me into a very good basketball player. I did my best to live up to what you put in front of me. Sorry I wasn't a better free throw shooter. Miss Sutton, my parents don't know this, but as a kid, I always wanted a godmother. And I didn't realize my freshman year, Disney would send me one in a limo. So, I appreciate you. You mean more to me than I don't think you can even realize. I don't know if you guys know, but I still have a key to Miss Sutton's house. There you go. Coach Walters, though he's not here, I would like to say thank you for your unique brand of inspiration. I don't think I've ever ran faster at the appropriate time than I did when interacting with you. Coach Russ Adams, thank you. Coach Adams was my defensive line coach, and he also went to Wake Forest and was graduated magna cum laude. And he influenced me a lot to do one of those things. And I thank you. Thank you very much. You've always been a bright light for me. I don't know if I've said it enough, and I don't know if I can say it enough, but I appreciate you. Thank you very much. If there's anybody out there that I haven't said thank you to, don't blame it on me. Blame it on the baby with that Albert Einstein haircut. I love this place. This place has given me more mothers and fathers than I know what to do with. And I appreciate you for seeing something in me that I hadn't seen yet. And I see it now, and thank you very much. And also, tell my wife, I love you.
Our next honoree, and I won't get emotional about her. I don't claim a lot of people to be my friends. You know, we have a lot of acquaintances, we have a lot of people that we socialize with. Very few can say that anything I need, she would take care of it, and vice versa. One of the best people you will ever meet. The story about Coach Tynes and I, when the women's basketball job came open, Sheila knows this story because she put this on me. When the women's basketball job came open, and I'd watched Coach Tynes, at UC Dub and all that kind of stuff there. I said, well, okay, she's a really good coach. And Sheila came to me, she wants to coach. I'm like, she's not gonna stay in high school. She's gonna coach 1 year, find a college job, and there she goes, and here I'm again looking for another coach. And here we are, 28 years later, however many years it's been, she's still hanging around me, and hopefully she'll hang around for a few more. No introductions, Coach Tynes.
Wow, what a great honor this is, and how it's so great to see so many people that I didn't expect to see, and they're all still very familiar to me, and I remember their names, so I'm excited about that. I've gone through and met so many people, and it's just, you remember faces, oftentimes you don't remember names, but I remember names, so I'm really fired up about that. I've been here 27 years, so I've got a few more pages to go through than those guys, and I apologize ahead of time, but I'll try to make it quick. I put it on paper because I didn't want to forget. And first of all, I would like to thank the Hall of Fame Committee for this wonderful honor. It means so much to me. I'm so humbled to be a part of the group of amazing individuals that are already the members of the Laney High School Athletic Hall of Fame. And congratulations to the 2020 class, and thanks to each of you for your contributions that you made to Laney High School. And it truly is a privilege for me to be a part of your class, because like I said, just an amazing group of people that I had the pleasure to associate with when you guys were all here. And while spending time reflecting on my 27 years here at Laney, it became clear to me that this award is not about me alone, but about the many people that influenced me, played so hard for me, believed in me, and stood beside me. I would first like to thank my family and my numerous friends who have supported me in my endeavors at Laney High School. Without their support and encouragement, I certainly would not be standing here tonight. My Laney coaching peers, Coach Sewell's here, Coach Mongero, Coach Barker, Sutton, Lynch, Mr. Dickerson, Mr. Coley, who I left anybody out, Yeoman. I mean, what a great group of people. And you guys were always so willing to share ideas so that we could all be successful. And also share athletes, which was so important, I think, for the success during the era that I coached here at Laney. The Laney administration, all the teachers through the years have supported my teams in the classroom and in athletics. We certainly couldn't have done it without you guys. It's often said, and I've always thought this, that if one surrounds themselves with successful people, that they too will experience success. And that certainly has been the case for me and still is the case. While it would be impossible for me to talk about each of these individuals, I'd still like to mention a few of them tonight and to thank them. 27 years ago, I stepped down from my position at UNC Wilmington, and I was looking for a job. And a friend of mine, who was a successful and respected coach in the community, Coach Bowles, mentioned to me that there was an opening at Laney High School for a teacher and a basketball coach, and asked if I would be interested. And I was like, ugh. I've spent 10 years coaching and teaching on the college level, and I wasn't sure about the idea of coaching and teaching in the high school level, but she reached out to Coach Lynch, and I was invited over for an interview. And I remember talking to Coach Lynch that day on the bottom row in the Michael J. Jordan gym, and thinking that teaching and coaching in high school was always the thing that I had set out to do during my academic career. So this might be a great opportunity right now, maybe a little change pace. And I could do it for a couple years, and we'd see how it'd go. Well, it went really well, and I'm still here. So that's the good news. 27 years later, I'm still here. So Sheila, you having made that suggestion 27 years ago has impacted my life in ways greater than words can express. And I'm forever grateful for that call that you made. Your willingness to share coaching ideas, even though you were a crosstown rival, and of course your support through the years have certainly made this award possible for me. And Coach Lynch, when we were having that conversation 27 years ago, there were a few things you failed to mention to me. Like, I would have to coach a sport that I knew nothing about, that I would have to drive a giant school bus and transport my kids wherever we needed to go, not to mention that I have to renew that thing every 5 years. It's like jumping through hoops of fire to get. And that I would spend countless of hours washing uniforms and eventually having to buy a new washing machine that washed a few more so I didn't have to wash so many loads. But I certainly would not have changed any of that for anything. I mean, those were all great opportunities that I had, and I was so thankful for that. And there was one last thing that you did fail to mention, and that's how rewarding it was going to be to work with great teachers, great coaches, and to work with student athletes and experience firsthand how amazing their accomplishments would be on and off the court, and the lasting friendships that we would have from that. So Coach Lynch, even though you thought I would only hang around a year, thank you for extending the opportunity of a lifetime to me, and thanks for the numerous talks about basketball, coaching teenagers, and life in general. Your encouragement and support always and still does mean so much to me. You were a great work husband, and even a better friend, and thank you for your part in making this possible. So when accepting the job at Laney, my greatest fear was not coaching, but it was teaching in the classroom. Classroom management, student discipline were just a few of my worries. Then I met Ruby Sutton, at which time I immediately became even more intimidated about being in public education. She was a teaching and a discipline machine. I mean, I figured if I could do as half as good as her, that I would be good to go. She immediately became my role model as a teacher and as a coach. Her enthusiasm, her energy, and her passion for her job was just amazing to me. I couldn't believe it. She just was like the Energizer Bunny. I would watch her through the years and learn so much that helped me to be successful as a teacher and as a coach and as a person. And the best coaching move I ever made, and Amber and Shatara and Aaron may not have thought this, but the best coaching move that I ever made was to tell my athletes that they had to enroll in Miss Sutton's body conditioning class. They had to. And I knew if they could survive Ruby Sutton's class, that they could survive anything that we had to do on the basketball court. Anything. So I know to this day that the physical and mental toughness that you instilled in my players enabled us to win games that we probably should not have won. So, there's been so much that you've given me through the years, Miss Sutton, but there is one thing that you took from me. That was the day that I went into Miss Nunley's office, our principal at the time, and she said, "Tynes, I need for you to be the JV girls cheerleading coach." I said, "Yes, ma'am." Because if you knew Miss Nunley, you were just like, "Okay, yes, ma'am." I walked out. I mean, I think I had broken out in a cold sweat. And I ran straight to Miss Sutton's office. And this was game day. We had a game this night. And I said, "Ruby," I said, "she just told me that I was going to be the cheerleading coach." She said, "Nobody can get along with those girls. You've got to try." And I'm like, "I can't." Miss Sutton's like, "You can't do that." I said, "I know I can't do that." She took care of that, and thank you so much. I sure never planned on doing something like that. So thank you for all the fun we had together. Working together was great. Your friendship is just a true treasure to me, and you certainly have helped make this award possible, so thank you. My fortunes have been many in coaching, and have always had the great fortune of having great assistant coaches that have been instrumental in the success of all of my teams. The fast pitch softball state championship would certainly never have happened had it not been for Paul David and Mr. Ingalls, because that was that sport that Coach Lynch didn't tell me about, that I was going to coach, but it worked out okay, so that was all good. And right now I have a great assistant coach in Coach Kathy, who's been with the golf team for 7 years, and out of those 7 years, we've won the conference champion 5 of those, and she's been just such a big help. And Kathy, so thank you for all that you've meant to the program and for your help and your part in this. And then on to my basketball assistant coaches. In 23 years of coaching basketball, I had JV coaches that did a great job developing our young players, encouraging them to be their best. These coaches helped to ensure that we would always have athletes that were not afraid to work hard, and our success would have been limited without their efforts. Certainly it would have been. I had 3 varsity assistant coaches during my 23 years of coaching basketball. While the first 2 made many contributions to our teams, the third and final one, he was the charm. We coached together for 21 years and just couldn't get rid of him. He just kept sticking around. So, you know, lucky for me that he did, but Coach Russ Adams, he left his job in banking to become a teacher, and then I'm sure when he thought that he had hit the lottery, when he agreed to be the girls' basketball assistant coach. And so little did I know at the time that it was truly going to be me that won the jackpot on that one. His passion, his commitment, his attention to detail was instrumental to the success of our teams. And it would take me a really long time to stand here, and we're not going to do that, and explain to you why he meant so much to the basketball program and to me. He was by my side every step of the way. We conquered many hurdles along the way, but regardless of the outcome, we always came out the other side a better team. Together we had so many special memories. So first I'll say thank you to his wife for letting him be my other work husband. And then to Russ, I will simply say to you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for sitting beside me for all those years and making this award possible. And I know you're thinking in your head right now, Coach Hines, I was not sitting beside you because I was sitting behind you because you were always standing in front of me during the games, and he could never see what was going on. He's like, Coach, I'd ask him a question, Coach, I couldn't see it. Why not? You stand in front of me. So, Russ, thank you so much for everything. There are not enough words for me to thank you for everything you've done. So thank you. And lastly, I would like to thank the numerous student athletes that have played for me, and I'm so excited to see some of them here tonight. I just love seeing you guys when you come back, and it just means so much to me. It means a lot for me to share this honor with you guys. And Amber, it's even more special that you are a part of this class of inductees, because you never thought you were a basketball player. But, you know, your dad, your mom, me, Coach Adams, it was like, Amber, you are. You don't think you are. I know you think you're a volleyball player, but you're really a basketball player. And, I mean, you just did so much for our program, and you were such a great example on the court, valedictorian, off the court. I mean, you balanced so much that kids today are just like, they find it so hard to do one thing and the other just gets in the way, but you were such a good example for Bucktown. So thank you for that. And, you know, Shatara and Aaron, thank you for all that you guys did. Couldn't have done it without you. It was so much fun. Wouldn't change it for the world. So, you know, to all my kids, just thank you for the ride of a lifetime. Really, it was. You've made all this possible. So it's been a wonderful and memorable journey so far here at Laney, and I hope to make a few more memories in the coming years, and I am forever grateful to all that have made this award possible. So just thank you so very much.